Hier wäre das dann bitte.
Ja, 106. 743. 444.
Oh, der nächste gelaufen.
Welcome back to the Rennsteig Arena for the final day of action here in Oberhof, and it's dedicated to the relays. We start with the single mixed relay today, and the sun has come out. It is glorious conditions, the sun making its way through the pine forest, and we can take a look at the course for today. A much shorter 1.5 kilometre loop for the athletes to tackle, and once again alongside myself Ellen Ellard is former Team USA biathlete Chad Salmler. And well, Chad, glorious conditions today. We've had to wait for it.
Are we in Oberhof? I mean, I have to check myself. Are we in Oberhof? It's beautiful. Sun is shining. -4 Celsius. It's not only sun is shining, it's winter-like, and we're only seeing single digits on that wind graphic on the lower center of the screen. So yeah, I mean, Oberhof bringing out its best for the final day, and it's about time. We started with downpour here this week, and we've had wind the whole time. That's not terribly surprising in Oberhof, but this is about the nicest way that I've seen Oberhof World Cup weekend finish in years.
And well, the athletes in particular, as its final checks over the rifles and final preparations ahead of the single mixed relay. The wind, Chad, is something that they'll be particularly happy to see that it's dropped.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is, as we see the start order here, just 2 athletes on the start for each country. They'll each basically do 2 races in the middle of this competition, with the final legs being the women's athlete. She'll go 1 extra loop on the end to finish the competition and do an extra 1.5 kilometers. But yeah, it's really nice to see the wind die down. I think you start to get a little bit gun shy, no pun intended, when the wind batters you about mentally all week long. It'd be nice, just kind of a nice vacation for some of these teams, some of these athletes, to just have a chance to actually shoot on a relatively stable shooting range.
And as we see the start list up on the screen, let's run through some of those who will be keeping a particular eye out for. So wearing bib number 2, you have to say the one of the favourites for today, Chad, the world champions, France, and it's the 2 sprint winners who are joining forces for this one. And of course, Quentin Fillon-Maillet was part of the World Championships winning duo as well with Luc-Jean Monod. He's with Bola Boutet today. And you have to look at their form this week, particularly in the sprint and the 2 shooting stage, and say that they are very likely to come away with something here.
Yeah, these single mixed and mixed relay days, there's 2 relays, the single mixed and the mixed, all on the same day, and that usually happens that way on a World Cup weekend. And there's a little bit of a chess match going on between the coaches, trying to figure out who's going to put their pawns where, who's going to put their kings and their rooks in the places they need them. And you often wonder what somebody's strategy is. I actually think France's strategy is they have a lot of strategies, but one of them is they could put the 2 sprint winners together to win this very short format single mixed relay, and I think it's a brilliant stroke, and I think that is the strongest duo on the start order.
We haven't had any German podium places this week, and well, the crowd who are out once again in their numbers and in great voice as well. They would love to see it. And Chad, you have to say the Germans maybe have a good chance today with the pairing of Justus Strelo and Selina Glottian.
Yeah, neither of them are superstars yet. I mean, Strelo, not a very fast skier, but this is the best use of Justus Strelo in the sport of biathlon, the single mixed relay. He's very accurate and he's very fast on the range. Selina Glottian is an up-and-coming athlete who's proven she can win on the World Cup. They're formidable.
And someone else that's another team that you've got your eyes on is Austria, to potentially spring a surprise. Simon Eder, who didn't finish the pursuit yesterday, and Lisa Toulouse-Hauser, who has been in good form over the course of the last 4 days. Yeah,
Hauser and Eder are absolutely a master. They'll give a master class on this event. Of course, they're human. They can mess up, but they've done so well together. They've been a relay team, a single mixed relay team for almost a decade now, these 2.
A quick look at the French team of Quentin Fillon-Maillet and Bola Boutet. And wearing bib number 1, but it's a new look team, is Victor Brandt, who will be leading out the Swedish team with Anna Magnusson following and bringing the team home. She took silver with Sebastian Samuelsson in this event in Oslo towards the end of last season. Silence falling around the Rennsteigerline here in Oberhof. The athletes poised. Our final day of racing here in Oberhof as we kicked off the new year with some spectacular scenery and breathtaking action on the BMW IBU World Cup circuit, and 2 final races today. And we start with the single mixed relay.
The Austrian team of Hauser and Eder were actually second to the World Championships 2 seasons ago here in this event, and so they feel very comfortable here. But they haven't won they've won this single mixed relay in Austria, but that was 8 seasons ago, or 6 seasons ago. So it's been a while, and Alfred, or I keep calling him Alfred, it's Simon Eder. His dad's Alfred. Simon Eder has definitely slowed on the ski capacity, but he's not slowed down shooting at all. And really, he can hang with these athletes for 1.5 kilometers at a time.
Yeah, he's got an excellent prone record so far this season. And we have 25 teams going in this single mixed relay. It's always great to see the diversity in terms of the flags that make their way out and put teams up to start in the single mixed relay, obviously only needing 2 athletes. And more of the smaller and less represented nations are able to field teams.
Norway putting out Vebjørn Sørum and Caroline Ofigstad Notten. That's the first time that duo has shown up in this single mixed relay for Norway. And I think it's a great opportunity. I think it's a smart choice by the Norwegian team, which is so deep. Why tire out your superstars? Go deeper into the paddock and figure out some other folks, and that gives Serum and another chance to maybe shine a little bit.
Yeah, we saw Johannes Tingersbø out on the open training session this morning. He won't be competing in the mixed relay team later on today. His older brother Talia, who has come into fine form over the course of the last 2 race weekends, will be racing.
It probably has a little bit to do with not only the fact that Johannes Tingersbø, he skied fine this weekend, but he also didn't train much over the holiday break, and I think that you just can't race everything. At some point, you have to decide, as a coach and an athlete, what you're going to do and what you're going to spend energy on. And I think in the grand scheme of things, this is not the event or the event day that Johannes Tingersbø needs to be competing.
It's Niklas Hartveg who has gone through the first time check at 1.1 kilometres first. The Biathlon was glued to the back of him, and now it's the USA.
Just a reminder
to the range first.
Yeah, that's Campbell Wright taking a little flyer off the front, maybe trying to get the US a little bit of time. A reminder of this format, they'll do the loop once, shoot prone, do the loop again, shoot standing, and then right after shooting standing, they will go to the exchange just past the range. They don't ski another loop like they do in the other format of biathlon. And if there is a penalty loop after 5 shots plus 3 extra rounds, it's only a 75-meter penalty loop, not a 150-meter penalty.
It's a miss for Campbell Wright to get things started. Niklas Hartveg as well for Bjorn Sørlund with a miss. Bjorn Maye missing. Victor Blunt as well.
Slovenia's 4-4.
Yeah, going clean, as is Justus Strelo, who finds himself back in good shooting form. Simon Eder and Austria clean as well.
Well, this is a formidable range to be the first relay skier in a single mixed relay because it's so fast. You can see how quick Strelo gets out of there. And this is exactly why the Germans chose Strelo. It's exactly why Simon Eder is in this lead spot, and Jakob Falk. All guys who are brilliant at this prone shooting and quick shooting.
And Norway and Sweden and Switzerland off around the shorter penalty loop today.
That's not the way you want to start
Not
a World Cup
at all.
single mixed relay. No, it's just so tight that you can't. You've almost got to be pristine on this prone shooting. Even Campbell Wright with 2 extra rounds trails with 23 seconds already. Jakob Falk knew exactly what to do. The Lithuanian team getting a pole. That's Maxim Fomin with 21. But already a nice big gap. There's 15 seconds between 3rd and, 10 seconds between 3rd and 5th.
Oh, would you look at this? Jakob Falk, who is so experienced and in really solid shape so far this season. Well, it's no surprise to see him leading the way with the performances that he's been laying down, and particularly with the relay success that the Slovenian team tasted in Hochfilzen for both the men and the women. Well, this could be something very special indeed.
Well, these 3 guys are not leaders in any kind of pack racing. These are all 3 of the kind of guys who are going to sit back, let somebody else lead, and then come in and blaze the shots in the range. And you can see that the pace is slowed. Nobody really is pushing here. Jakob Falk finally says, "Well, I guess I'll take the lead." You know, so these are 3 laying in wait kind of athletes, and it's funny that they're leading because somebody has to lead this race.
Yeah, his lowest finish this season actually came yesterday in the pursuit, 3 penalties, but he has been in some very good form indeed, some strong performances, and of course the 4th place for the men and for the women as well in the relay in Hochfilzen. It's a contrasting team in terms of experience. That's who Jakob Falk will be handing over to Leno Leflinch.
These athletes had 8 seconds. I'm looking mostly for Quinton Fillon-Maillet. There's Hornik from Czech Republic, Makarov from Moldova in 6th, Duchenko for Ukraine in 5th, Zakna from Estonia in 4th. That's the chase pack. And there's Campbell Wright on the right. Campbell Wright now moving into the 6th spot at 2.6 kilometers. But these athletes are now 15 seconds off the lead, and you know that's a shot or two. Still close enough to be caught if these guys have a mistake. But these are all three really great shooters. You look at Jeremy Strelo. He was 94% on the year last year. He's only 89. That's up first weekend. Simon Eder, 99% prone this season. It's perfect in that shooting stage. And as well, Slovenia, Jakov 93% and 90 from the standing shooting. So these guys are athletes who hit the target, and they've got a lead.
Yeah, it wasn't the start to the season that just Strelo would have wanted in terms of shooting, but over the course of, well, including this one, the last 3 stops on the World Cup Tour, he certainly upped his game as our leading trio pull into their mats. Quentin Fillon-Maillet, the next athlete, in 11.4 seconds behind the time of just Strelo. And Strelo is quick and he is clean. A miss for Simon Eder. Jakov Bak is clean as well. So Austria and Simon Eder having to dip into the reserve rounds. France are clean with Quentin Fillon-Maillet, so there will be a change of order there, but it's Germany who hand over first, and Selina Glotien leading the way for the Germans on home snow. It's not been a common sight at all over the last 4 days.
Can Selina Glotien, Justus Strelo deliver for the Germans what they've been yearning for so long in Oberhof? Some Germans on the top of the podium.
Well, going into this stop on the World Cup Tour, the narrative was all about the German team and what they could do on home snow. Particularly the women, absolutely flying through the first trimester. And instead, on the women's side, the narrative's all been about well, new faces on the French team, the dominance of the French team. And then on the men's side, it's been the battle between France and Norway. And you can see how much that means to the home crowd as Justus Strelo delivers in the range.
So Glotien goes up against the far less heralded Lena Repinch. Repinch ranked 48th in the overall World Cup game. Repinch inside.
Bib number 2, just joining on to the back now of that trio is Paula Bolte. The maiden victory in the World Cup. Almost 2 years away. She's leading the IBU Overall Cup. She had the opportunity to step up, and what a spectacular performance and dominant performance it was in the sprint.
Just had no problem making up that gap between the leaders and herself from the exchange. She trailed. At that first, I think I'm going to find it here. Trailed by 10 seconds. Let me that first.
So a leading pack of 4 flying down these steep and challenging downhills.
Yeah, today is probably the fastest time down the course all week because the course is so firm. A little bit earlier in the day, the earliest start on the day or on the weekend, and colder temperatures and sunshine will have meant the course setting up very quickly overnight.
So a gap of around 7 seconds from our leading quartet back to Suvi Minkkinen. Finds herself 5th overall in the points total, having a brilliant season, truly a breakout season for the 30-year-old. Scored her maiden podium on home snow just a day before her 30th birthday in Kontiolahti.
Finns definitely putting their best foot forward today with Tero Seppälä and Minkinen in this single mixed relay, and they're not backing the fight. At the exchange, Finland was 18 seconds back, and now Minkinen is at the front of the group again, or right behind him. We've got Gotjev from Germany, Botte of France, Hauser from Austria, Ripinc of Slovenia, and then Minkinen from leader group as they come into prone position. Stronger win from right to left. France goes clean. Germany with a miss. Slovenia with a miss. They're into the extra rounds. Austria's perfect 5-5, as is Minkinen from Finland. So Germany letting Grotjean struggling just a little bit from the prone position. Paula Botte. Then it's Norwegian, Karolina Notten. Chasing from behind.
So Paula Botte leading. Paula Botte, winner of the sprint, in the lead. And has now opened a gap on Lisa Hauser. And the gap is growing. The next time check we'll get is at 5.6 kilometers.
You can see after shooting three that Paula Botte had the power to pull away from Lisa Hauser without much effort at all. So big gap in ski performance between those two athletes, and that could be the difference maker for France.
So Paula Botte approaching the 5.6 kilometre mark. 4 athletes within touching distance behind her. With Paula Botte first over the line. Lisa Hauser 6.7 seconds behind. Suvi Minkinen just behind Hauser. Golotien in 4th, and Ripinc of Slovenia in 5th. It's Paula Botte will be first into the range.
You do not want to give France too much of a leash on this stage. Botte could flip the race right into France's favor, especially if you consider how well Justus Strelo is shooting today. He actually schooled Quinton Fillon-Maillet in the single mixed relay in the first 2 shooting stages, and he looks very confident striding around the stadium right now.
Yeah, preparing to be tagged back in. for Labotte.
Taking a lot of time to shoot. Botte gets the hits, though.
Two misses for Selina Glottien. A miss for Lena Lepinch. Another miss for Germany and Glottien. Suvi Minkkinen has missed on the last.
Botte missing the extra round as well. This is Teresa Hauser with 2 still shots in the red. And Finland goes clean. Minkkinen will take the lead.
Suvi Minkkinen into the lead. A breakout season for her. Lena Lepinch comes through in third, and France handing over in second. Bib number 2, but Suvi Minkkinen and Telo Seppälä are the team that is leading the way in this single mixed relay here in Oberhof.
Minkkinen has broken through, but Tero Seppälä has yet to do that. So this is a big task for Seppälä. This next 3 kilometers of skiing and two shooting bouts for Tero Seppälä could be his first ever biathlon podium after 10+ seasons.
Well, the pressure is well and truly on his shoulders. As we see Switzerland, who made such a good start, they hand over Norway around the penalty loop once again.
Yeah, Norway having all kinds of trouble on the shooting range now, not in the penalty loop. And the time just ticking away at exchange 2, and Norway still not through. The United States has actually come through ahead of Norway. So they are non-factor today, the Norwegians. 4 penalties already after shooting 4 penalty loops for Norway.
Yeah, their hopes will, and the attention will now turn to the mixed relay later on this afternoon. As we watch the standing shoot of Selina Glottien. Here is Telo Seppälä. See just there the shadow of Quentin Fillon-Maillet, bib number 2, followed by Jakob Fack.
Oh, you have to feel for the 2 Norwegians, the scrutiny put on them going into this, and we didn't see it, but Bjørn Sørum just 2 penalties from his leg, and now 2 more penalty loops from Kelly Naughton, and they're buried a minute 12 back at exchange number 2, the Norwegians. They're not going to find their way back up there. That's just too much time, I think, at this point.
7.1 kilometers, and Tero Seppälä over the line, but only 2.7 seconds ahead of Quentin Fillon-Maillet, and there's nothing between Fillon-Maillet and Jakob Fack. Just a Strelo 12.3 seconds down.
And this is when I go to my statistics. I look at Tero Seppälä, and Seppälä now has the distinct task of taking Finland to the next level, and he's a great prone shooter, but his standing is so shaky as he comes into the prone with a couple of big stars right on his tails.
And the noise is just a Strelo will round the corner and into the range.
Final prone shooting for the men.
A miss for Telo Seppälä. A miss for France. And now Jakob Fack misses. 2 misses for Telo Seppälä. The leading 3 all dropping into the extra round. Just Strelo will have to as well. It's France and Quentin Fillon-Maillet who gets away first, though. And there won't be much between Finland and Germany.
You hear the wave of the crowd urging Strelo on, but he missed that last shot. Would have taken the lead, but now is chasing in second. Quinton-Fillon-Maillet leading as he should for France, stepping up to the moment. Tero Seppala, a little bit of a falter there, not a huge one, but he's only a 74% standing shooter, and he's got to go up against some of the best in the world.
And Austria, who come out of shooting 5, they're in 5th and only 8.1 seconds behind. There's then the gap to 6th, Nicholas Hartweg of Switzerland, who are having a good shooting day.
Hartweg is 24 seconds back. A little too far back to get back into this. Fabian Serm has nothing to lose. He's just got to try to knock down the shots, and he does just that. He'll be out with Campbell Wright from the United States. They'll be trying to make their way through the field, but they're over a minute back coming into this shooting stage and haven't left yet, and they're still, both of them are outside the top 10 and 12th, 13th at a minute back.
This is Victor Blunt, who we were just watching there as we go back to the shooting of Tero Seppala.
And Seppala's 95% prone shooter, 75% standing. Quinton-Fillon-Maillet, he's 83% standing shooting. Jakob Fak this season, 90%. So the edge on the shooting range falling to the Slovenian. The ski speed is the ski level of the front of the field is way in favor of France with Quinton-Fillon-Maillet by several percentage points.
And there's a prime example of it, as you can see, the distance he's put between him and Jakob Fak. Strelo and Tero Seppala in behind Jakob Fak.
Strelo's done a great job of keeping Germany in this. If you look at compared to the women's field, Selena Grotjan's a better skier and a faster skier compared to the women she's skiing against than Strelo is against this group. Seppala and Strelo pretty similar in ski ability. Fak maybe is about 1% faster, and then Fillon-Maillet is another 2% faster than that. So, and that's pretty much the story being told on the course right now, is Fillon-Maillet trying to pull away more. But Fillon-Maillet is not getting away. Strelo is sticking to him, and he's actually making time on Fillon-Maillet. He's 2 seconds down now.
Yep, this trio fighting to get back on the shoulder of the Frenchman, and there's only 2 seconds in it, and 3.5 seconds that separates the top 4. And Nicholas Hartweg as well has really cut the deficit from the Frenchman who leads.
He's taken 10 seconds out of the Frenchman, out of Fillon-Maillet in the last loop. So it's not only just a 4-team race, it's still a 6-team race with the women yet to go. And remember, the women do an extra loop after the standing shooting. The men will shoot and tag to these women for the final time.
Well, this time around it will be the women who bring it home. In contrast to the race setup in Kontiolahti.
If the IB flips the order because of that extra loop, they want to have the gender equity in that, who gets that loop every other time. So the men start first this time. The women bring it home. 4 teams: Finland, Slovenia, Germany, France. Win. Fillon-Maillet is pressuring everybody with fast shooting, but he misses. Strelo's 4 for 4.
And
Strelo
clean! And into the lead as he hands over to Selena Glotien, and the German crowd go absolutely berserk. France not far behind as Quinton-Fillon-Maillet taps the back of Paula Botte.
Who will be the spoiler? Austria of all teams struggling. Minkinen gets out 3rd for Finland, 12 seconds back. But it was Ader who struggled in that last shooting stage. Taking in 4th, 25 back to Lisa Teresa Hauser, who now has some work to do to get back up to the podium.
The final shoot from Vibjorn Solom, who has to drop into the extra rounds.
He's just 1 extra. Relatively decent, but You know, it's just a little too late. They're too far back to really figure into this. Okay, don't feel my though really forcing the issue. He had a miss, but very quick to the extra round as well. This is great biathlon shooting here in a relay. Quick load of the magazine and just knocks that target right down. He barely got the rifle up to his shoulder before he pulled the trigger. Here's Strelow's effort now. You can hear the crowd. Listen. Excellent stuff by Strelo there.
Well, they've been so desperate to see the Germans stand on the podium. And it is the Germans who lead. Selina Glottien. She has Paula Botte glued to her back.
It's unfortunate timing for Selina Glottien to come up against a very formidable Paula Botte, the most formidable Paula Botte of her life. Coming into this week, she's really hot right now, and Glottien has to deal with that in trying to bring home this hungry German crowd for a victory. And it's tough because Botte proved she's the best in the world in the sprint earlier this week.
And almost out of nowhere, stepping up from the IBU Cup where she leads the overall standings and well, able to deliver a huge performance in the sprint. She had a 31-second advantage over Malin Kirkaida.
So the smile on Justus Strelow's face, he looks relieved. He's happy he's in the finishing area. And now he's given his teammate the opportunity to win this relay in front of a highly partisan crowd. But now Selina Glottien has a tough task. Strelo can just enjoy that he did his part.
Well, it seems as well that these two have opened the gap up on Suvi Minkkinen. You can't see in the picture, which suggests when we go through the next time check at 10.1, which is approaching now, there's the gap back to Suvi Minkkinen. There you see her now. So it's Selina Glottien, Paula Botte. Nothing to separate the French and the German teams, 11.5 seconds. So Suvi Minkkinen actually not losing any ground from the exchange.
Pretty even skiing by the three. The question is who is working the hardest and who can hold it together and shoot the cleanest and fastest. This is such a great format. It's very short. We're only 26 minutes into this competition. It's almost over, and we've already seen so much great shooting. Justus Strelo getting hugs. I don't know if it's his family or his team staff. It's almost like they're celebrating the win yet. It's not over, guys. It's still, Selina's still out there.
It's certainly not over yet.
Okay, back to prone for the women in their second time out on the course. There's the wind coming quartering from behind and then shifting 18 kilometers an hour right to left. But again, if it's right to left, they've got that building in that wall at least helping a little bit to buffer the draft on points probably 1 through 5, and then the wind picks up mid-range.
So in sync, Paula Botte and Selina Glottien drop down onto the mats. It's Suvi Minkkinen who follows them into the range.
Missed by Germany.
Missed from France as well. So all even again. Stays even, 2 misses apiece.
Oh, Glottien melting. 3 misses. Now, chance for Minkkinen. Minkkinen's 4 for 4.
And Suvi Minkkinen does it. Suvi Minkkinen and Finland lead. It's Paula Botte who gets away behind the Finnish team, and Germany, well, on the final available range of round, avoid going 75 meters around the penalty loop.
The subtle problem of that for Germany is that Glottien proved in the last loop that she was struggling to stay with Botte. Now Botte's ahead of her and Minkkinen as well. And Glottien will hopefully not try to lose a lot of time, but she's got to ski a little harder into the standing and where the pressure's the worst. There's no way trying to come back now. Carolina Naughton, 4 for 5. That was a nice, quick run through her prone rounds. Oh, this is the extra round though. Time ticking away. Trying to avoid the penalty loop. Has to go down or she's back in the loop again. But she gets it.
Suvi Minkkinen leading the way. France and Paula Botte in second, and Selina Glotien and Germany in third, in what would be, if this is how it ends, a historic win for the Finnish team on the World Cup circuit.
And for Glotien, these are where superstars in biathlon are made and developed. If she can pull this out against all probability, she's not having a great day on the shooting range, is Glotien. In fact, the Germans, eight extra rounds. Same with the French, but the French can outski them. The difference is, for Finland, just 5 extra rounds so far. And Tero Seppälä has to be given a big kudos for that statistic, 0 + 5. That's an outsized performance for him on the shooting range today. Speaking of the devil, there he is. Nice job, Tero Seppälä.
Well, it was interesting after the first single mixed relay, hearing the thoughts of the athletes who had finished their race and then had to watch on as their teammates tackle the final 3 laps and 2 shooting stages. It's far from over yet, as Paula Botte looks to be closing the gap.
Coach is all out, of course, cheering their athletes on. Got a shot at the Patrick Fabre, formerly competed for Italy, but is from Aosta, the French-speaking portion of Italy, coaching for the French now.
Well, what a year, what a season it's been for Suvi Minkkinen so far. Really pushing the standards for the Finnish team, and particularly on the women's side. It's pushing those around her to follow.
Whatever Erik Tornius Kulstad, the Norwegian coach now in charge of the Finnish national team for the 2nd year, is whatever he's done, whatever he's doing with the Finnish team, it's working, and he's gonna get some credit for that.
But it is regrouping on the top end of the course. 5.7 seconds between Suvi Minkkinen, who leads in the split light and dark blue kiss of Finland.
Defensive moments for the Finns. They've not won a relay that I'm aware of in biathlon ever. I don't think they have.
This would be their first World Cup victory.
Minkkinen, just try to do the work. Get in your zone and let the targets go down. Watch them go down through the sights. Follow through on your shots. Don't think about the result, think about the process.
Well, it's exactly who you want on the final leg in terms of the Finnish team. Suvi Minkkinen, so consistent this season. And she just needs to keep a cool head now. She will have Paula Botte and Glotien to the side of her, though.
Glotien has to consider herself the underdog in chasing at this point. Just put it out of your mind about trying to win just to get the targets.
Miss for Germany and Glotien. Suvi Minkkinen is 5 for 5, and will this be a historic day for the Finnish team, who lead out of the final shooting stage in the single mixed relay? Germany
missing, and she's got pressure now from Switzerland, but they have a miss. Glotien has to hit this to keep Germany on the podium. She has to hit this shot. She does. It won't be a win, but she's on the podium.
Yep, it will finally be a podium for Germany here on home snow. It's something they've been yearning for all week. A really strong performance from Amy Berserger.
Absolutely. I was going to say, you take the words right out of my mouth. It's like we think the same things, Alan, but Switzerland, they're in the wooden medal, but that is a great performance for Amy Berserger to be fourth. Still teams trying to move up through the standings. 6 teams through the time check now.
Carolina Norton, 5 for 5, final standing shoot. And we're back with the leader, Suvi Minkkinen.
Can she deliver the finishing blow to the Beauté, who's been so hot all week? It was 3 seconds at 8 kilometers, or after shooting number 8. Where is Beauté? It's more than 3 seconds.
It certainly is. We won't know exactly the time check, the distance between the two, until 13.1 kilometers. But as you rightly say, Chad, just over 3 seconds between Suvi Minkkinen and Paula Beauté.
On that climb, I did it. I counted in my head. I had 6. I counted 6 seconds there. Obviously, not very scientific. But when you don't have a split clock, you got to do something. And it looks like Minkkinen has almost doubled the lead from leaving the shooting range. That's Grotian from Germany.
Yep, she needs a strong ski, does Suvi Minkkinen.
Again, this is a very short course. It's just 1.5 kilometers. There's just not a lot of room for Beauté to make up that time if they're even close.
You can see Suvi Minkkinen is working incredibly hard to keep herself, and the distance growing from the French woman.
9/10 of a K at the next time check. Skis also matter so much, and you just want to stay on your feet on this hill if you're Suvi Minkkinen. Beauté looking a little wobbly on that turn as well, though. There's the time check. That orange banner in the snow up ahead signals less than 1 kilometer, 9/10 of a K to go, and we have a knockdown drag-out fight between the Finns and the French. Minkkinen puts in a surge, trying to make it decisive already.
4.1 seconds, the lead that Suvi Minkkinen has. And surely that is enough. She rounds the corner. She can see the finish. Suvi Minkkinen, a spectacular performance to deliver history for Finland on the final day of competition here in Oberhof.
They'll be toasting in Helsinki tonight. Finland gets their first biathlon relay win.
It's truly spectacular. It really is. Suvi Minkkinen and Teo Seppälä deliver history for Finland.
It both works for so long and for so many years, and Selina Grotian brings the German team home to the roar of the crowd. Couldn't take the win, but still on the podium.
Yeah,
but wow, Finland is absolutely thrilled with that.
First German podium of the week. Paula Beauté, well, you have to say a very strong performance for her as well to deliver France second place after such a long absence from the World Cup circuit. She's back and she's well and truly left her mark. But Suvi Minkkinen and Finland, a historic day, an incredible performance. Austria over the line in 5th, Slovenia 6th. Switzerland, despite one penalty loop, a really strong performance. You can see how much that means to everyone involved.
Look at the joy on Suvi Minkkinen's face. I can't imagine the feeling. It's got to feel great. I mean, Finland is a huge skiing country. They have been a Nordic ski nation, and they were very strong in the early ages of biathlon in the 60s and 70s. Tapio Piipponen, a great biathlete, but they have some Olympic medalists from the early 90s. You've got Harri Eloranta has a silver medal from the Olympics in '92. But this is a high water moment for Finland because it's a team victory.
We've seen those really strong glimmers in the individual performances, and this duo have put it together and combined have done something incredibly special, which we will remember for a very long time indeed.
Solid performance from Moldova in 11th. Sweden struggled from the outset. 2 penalty loops, 13 extra rounds. That tells the story for Sweden.
Germany finally get their podium. They'll try and do it again in the mixed relay. later on this afternoon. But after 3 days of waiting, the Germans will finally have a duo on the podium as a slight collision after coming over the line from the Ukrainian team and the USA. Over in 13th and 14th respectively.
Well, if Oberhof delivered anything, it was a bunch of surprises, especially on the women's side. You consider that Paula Botte came out of nowhere to win, and then Finland comes really, I mean, we saw this as a possible success story today before the start of the show. But, you know, it's one thing to see that possibility and then to deliver on it. Another thing altogether.
And I think a really positive sign for Suvi Minkkinen as well to deliver that under such pressure right at the end with Paula Botte and Selina Glotien breathing down her neck. History made here in Oberhof.
And Suvi Minkkinen's Cinderella story just continues in Oberhof. What a year she's had, and Tero Seppälä gets to come along for the ride, delivering a great performance on his own. Seppälä beside himself. That's beside himself as a Finnish expression right there. Finns are reputationally very, very subdued socially and publicly, but lots of effusive smiles from those two as they take the win for Finland.
Well, you could tell, couldn't you? There was, you could see the German team celebrating. They knew they'd done enough for a podium, and you could see the delight, but also nerves on the face of Tero Seppälä. But I'm sure there was also part of him that thought there's no need to worry with Suvi Minkkinen in the form that she's in and what she's been delivering of late.
I might be collecting some royalties from the Finnish national team because I woke up this morning, dug in my drawer, and just pulled out a T-shirt. It happened to be a Finnish national team T-shirt, what I'm wearing for the call. You think there's any connection there, Ellen?
It's, whatever the opposite of a commentator's curses, you've delivered that today, Chad. As our final sets of athletes start to make their way up that final climb towards the line.
3 lap teams on the day. Kazakhstan, Greece, and Belgium have been lapped, and these are the final 2 on the course. With Romania and Canada rounding up the 21st and 22nd spot at the finish. The United States finished 14th today. Campbell, Wright, and Chloe Levens. But the underdog Finns are the story to close out the Oberhof single mixed relay.
Historic day in Germany for the Finnish team. Suvi Minkkinen, Tero Seppälä taking top spot for the first time in the history of the Finnish biathlon team. France settling for second, 5.8 seconds behind in the end, and Germany their first podium of the weekend here in Oberhof as they take third. A great fight back for Switzerland to finish 4th, Austria 5th, Slovenia 6th, and Norway, well, 4 penalty loops, 13 misses. They really had to fight back, and able with some good skiing performances, of course not so much as the results show there in the range, but good skiing performances, able to contain some of the damage to finish in 8th.
I think back to the retirement of Kaisa Mäkäräinen from Finland. She was a 3-time World Cup overall winner for Finland, but she was largely a lone, successful Finnish athlete for a decade plus. And as I said, there were some deep moments. Paavo Kurinen, world champion in 2000. Vesa Hietalahti with Olympic medal as well. But Finland has really never truly embraced the modern era of the sport of biathlon. And when Kaisa Mäkäräinen retired a few years ago, I think a lot of folks, including myself, kind of thought that was kind of it for Finnish biathlon. And just now in 2025, they win their first mixed relay. It's pretty cool stuff.
ich hätte ja anbrüllen können, aber ich wollte den Niklas nicht unterbrechen, weil der wäre so viel falsch gewesen, was er gesagt hätte. Aber auf einmal habe ich Rücken gekriegt und Knie und Herz. Oh, ich habe schon gesagt, wir können das nicht mehr machen. Ich muss nächstes Jahr Schach machen oder irgendwas, weil mein Puls geht einfach nicht mehr runter.
Single mixed relay victory for your country. What does it mean for both of you to do it?
It's amazing. We have been teammates for a very long time, and it's really nice to share this victory with him.
Yeah, I'm also very happy, like no words. I have more than 200 IBU races, and now was first time to climb the podium, and so we did so good work that I'm so proud of him.
You both did amazing, but Suvi, that final shooting and then the final loop, you really wanted this.
Yeah, I was actually thinking Lucian Mono when I came to the last shooting, because I watched the race yesterday and she looked so calm in the last shooting, so I was just like inner Lucian Mono. So that's, yeah, it was really cool to be able to do that.
It was fantastic. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Suvi Minkkinen channeling her inner Lou Jean Monod, Chad. What do you make of that? It's something we've obviously spoken about. When Lou Jean Monod looks focused, there's nothing that she can't do, and really interesting to see, to hear Suvi reference that, as you can of course see the pride between both of them delivering their country's first ever single mixed relay win.
I love it. I think that the sport of biathlon is it's a big visualization sport, and if you can, I have said it on air, you watch Jean Monod from our seats and you can see the focus, and I think for someone like Suvi Minkkinen to kind of express that as a co-competitor and to use that image of the inner Jean Monod, as she said, it shows you the value of watching video of a sport and watching and being a student of the sport. And it paid off for Suvi Minkkinen. She went 5 for 5 like Lou Jean Monod would. So, and she gets a victory for it.
And we will of course see Lou Jean Monod later on today in the mixed relay as she takes on the final leg. And you wonder whether she'll be channeling her inner Suvi Minkkinen to try and deliver the win for France, who are in the lead after 10 competitions in the Women's Nation Cup score as well. And so for the first time in both of their careers, it's Suvi Minkkinen and Teuvo Seppälä who lead out the athletes towards the podium. Smiling away from Quentin Fillmayer. Him and Paula Boutet delivering in terms of podiums for France this week. And a first podium for Germany after 3 days of hopeful waiting.
Biathlon Oberhof 2025. Herzlich willkommen zur Siegerpräsentation und Ehrung für die Single Mixed Staffel. Die Ehrung wird durchgeführt durch Dr. Franz Steinle, Vorstandsmitglied der Internationalen Biathlon Union, durch den Ministerpräsidenten des Freistaats Thüringen, Herrn Mario Vogt, und durch den OK-Chef des Biathlon-Weltcups in Oberhof, Bernd Wernicke. Auf dem dritten Platz, in third place, das Team Deutschland, Germany!
Justus Strelo and Selina Glottian stepping up onto the bottom step of the podium. They knew they'd done enough for a podium place after the second, well, the penultimate stage of shooting. Justus Strelo showing some very good form indeed. Another podium for Selina Glottian.
This single mixed relay is a really great place to learn how to perform under pressure in the world. Good performance for this two relatively young German team.
Second place,
Huge pressure on them.
Team aus Frankreich, France!
And what a week it's been for this duo. Quentin Fillmayer and Paula Boutet, winners in their respective sprint races, and second today as a duo in the single mixed. Chad, for Paula Boutet, well, this just confirms to the French team that she's someone that you can't leave out of the World Cup squad.
Yeah, I think she's solidified her spot there. I think today was another good step forward. She didn't take the win, but at the same time, I mean, Minkkinen was pretty spectacular in that last two shooting stages in her final leg. So Boutet definitely her trial by fire has been very good this weekend in Oberhof. I think we'll see her next weekend in Ruhpolding on the order.
The winner of the Single Mixed Relay, das Team aus Finnland, Finnland!
And history made for Finland. Their first relay victory. And for the first time in both their careers, Telo Seppälä and Suvi Minkkinen stand on top of a World Cup podium. A formidable duo today. A truly spectacular performance and one that will go down in World Cup history.
Big moment for Finnish biathlon and for these two athletes. It's kind of a career-changing moment. Neither of them are young. They've been doing the sport, kind of journeymen of the sport for the last decade plus, and here they are at 30 plus years of age with their first World Cup win.
The second podium of the season for Suvi Minkkinen.
Well, Seppälä at 28, not quite 30 yet. Minkkinen turned 30 earlier this season, but 28 and 30-year-old are World Cup champions. Finland wins. Improbable, but it's true.
And a really strong performance from both the athletes. And Suvi Minkkinen performing so well under pressure in the final shooting stage and final lap.